Ladies and gentlemen, the following podcast is set for one episode. Your host from Columbus, Ohio, is Michael Kirk. Welcome to the Outlaw Mudcast. Hello and welcome to the Outlaw Mudcast, your digital audio dirt sheet for all things Supershow. We're in kind of a weird place right now for Supershow. Origins and Southern Fried Gaming Expo have ended. Gen Con is the next big convention. I've reported on everything from those past two conventions, and news is still rolling in for Gen Con. We still have not received a lot of news about Gen Con. I checked Gen Con's website a little bit before I started recording. None of the events for SRG or Supershow are listed on the event sign-up page. We've been told that Thursday night there should be a singles event with the top 96 competitors, the World Division and the Underworld Division competitors booked for the event. We've been told Friday night there's going to be a tag team event with random partners. People will be randomly paired into tag teams. We've been told Saturday night there will be an open singles event. And we've been told Sunday, I'm assuming Sunday afternoon, there will be a trios event and a tag event. I don't know if that is 2 versus 2 tag, 2-player versus 2-player, or if that is tornado tag. That's what I know right now about Gen Con. No idea about any events during the day, whether they're just going to leave that open for drafts and things for players to put together themselves, or if there will be structured events during the day. We don't know. We don't know anything about releases. We don't really know anything about featured matches. The one bit of featured match news that I have is that the United States Championship, currently held by Ref Dave, will be defended twice at Gen Con. Now, I don't know if that means that Ref Dave will defend at Gen Con, and if he successfully defends, he remains champion after that defense, he will defend again, or if there will be 2 LFF United States Championship matches, even if he loses. So, I don't know if the new champion will have to defend against a second contender at Gen Con. We're still learning about what's going to happen at Gen Con. I also don't know, and I'll bring this up because I am the current Midwest Coast champion, if I will be defending at this point at Gen Con. I'm expecting to, but there's been no news on that front, and there really hasn't been any news on any of the potential championship defense fronts that I've heard regarding Gen Con. We have had some championship news. For example, I reported previously that Loudmouth Leo Larynx is going to be getting a shot at the LFF World Heavyweight Championship, currently held by the prizefighter Simon Dabner. That shot that Loudmouth is getting previously was held by Mark Perry. It was stripped from Mark Perry and given to Loudmouth. Not a fan of that. But that shot is coming up at some point. I don't know if that's going to be online toward the end of the month. I suspect it might, or if that will be at Gen Con in person. I don't know if the prizefighter is going to be at Gen Con. I don't know if Loudmouth Leo is going to be at Gen Con. While I'm on the subject of championships, there was a tournament announced a while ago for the LFF Global Division, the Sabu Memorial Tournament. Sabu, very well-known former ECW wrestler, passed away. The Cheetah, the general manager of that division, held a tournament in his honor. You had to enter and play using a Global Division competitor. The winner of the tournament receives a future shot at the LFF Global Championship. If that winner won with Sabu, they would get a shot at the LFF Underworld Championship. We have the finals results for that tournament. In the finals, we had Harvey Luster as EC3 versus the Collector Sean Loeb as Zoe Sky. The winner of the tournament getting a future shot at the LFF Global Championship. Harvey Luster, congratulations to the illustrious one for winning the Sabu Memorial Tournament. Speaking of tournaments, I'll bring this up here. There's currently an LFF Underworld Contender Tournament going on. This was the tournament where people who were responsible for getting a competitor promoted to the Underworld Division were put in a tournament. Top 3 in that tournament will end up getting future shots at the LFF Underworld Championship. The opening round, outside of a couple of play-in matches, just wrapped up. They extended the deadline. That deadline is passed. So we're through at least the first portion of that tournament. That still has quite a ways to go. That's a big online event going on. We've also started the first round of the Supershow Olympics. Teams are starting to play their matches. We've seen matches already reported. General Lee Wong, once again, keeping track of the matches. Big thanks to General Lee Wong for doing that great service he's providing to the Supershow players, to the community. Just can't thank him enough for what he does. That's such a huge help. I'll report on the first round winners once all those matches are done and we have the results for the first round. Going back to convention news, there is currently a convention that SRG Universe is at. Dice Tower East in Orlando, Florida. Haven't really heard much about what's going on there. From what I understand, there were no events. They're just doing demos and selling product. I wish we would have heard a lot more about Dice Tower East. I know it's been on the SupershowTheGame.com website for a while, but we just didn't really hear much about it. I probably should have looked into it more. I'm pretty sure I did report on it at some point in the past, but I don't have any information outside of it exists, and it's happening. Today, as I'm recording this, July 6th, is the last day of Dice Tower East. I will go ahead and bring this up too, since I'm on the subject of conventions. Of course, Gen Con, July 31st through August 3rd in Indianapolis, Indiana. Dragon Con, Atlanta, Georgia, August 28th through September 1st, I believe Labor Day weekend. The Grand Gathering, September 19th through September 21st, Westlake, Ohio, that's in the Cleveland area. PAX Unplugged, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, November 21st through November 23rd. Those are the big ones. There's also a convention on SupershowTheGame.com, Nova Open. It's in Washington, D.C., August 27th through August 31st. The same time as Dragon Con. I know nothing about this convention. I looked to see if there was anything event-wise for SRG Universe or Super Show the Game. I didn't see anything on their website. I did ask Steve Resk about it at Origins Game Fair. He didn't know anything about it. He couldn't tell me anything about it. But that apparently is a thing going on end of August, beginning of September in Washington, D.C. Don't know what kind of presence we'll see from SRG Universe. Don't know who's running it. But that's out there. So, with Dice Tower East not being well promoted, I figured I should at least check the website and bring that up. So that's a thing going on in about 2 months, not quite 2 months, for SRG Universe in the Washington, D.C. area. Let me give a little Super Show product news. This weekend, they're having a July 4th sale. The old school box sets and the Grand Pack, I believe it's Wave 3 box sets, are on sale $17.76 per set. There's also a promo code for 20% off of various items on the website. Happy 4th. HAPPY, the digit 4TH. Use that code at checkout using the apply coupon function. That will reduce the price of cards, box sets from what I can tell. It does not work from what I saw in created content. It does work on the grand packs and old school boxes that are reduced to $17.76. So we'll take another 20% off of $17.76 on top of the already reduced price from, I believe, $25 a box set to $17.76. So the coupon code does stack with the discount on the box sets. That's the first bit of product news that I have. The other product news that I have revolves around the Kickstarter. We don't have an official date for the Major Wrestling box set Kickstarter featuring a box set with Matt Cardona, formerly known as Zack Ryder, and Brian Myers, formerly known as Kurt Hawkins. We don't have a date, but they're guessing it'll be launching it around a couple of weeks. So sometime this month. Now, there is supposed to be a partnership between SRG Universe and this Kickstarter campaign and Ninth Level Games and their backer kit campaign for WrestleMania Symphony of the Fight. That campaign was supposed to launch in July. It has actually been pushed back to September 23rd. I believe that's a Tuesday on Backer Kit's website. I don't know how it's going to affect the partnership. There were supposed to be things like stretch goals for each other game in the crowdfunding campaigns, things related to the games. I don't know how that's going to work if the Supershow Kickstarter is in July and the Ninth Level Games Kickstarter is in September. We'll have to see. Have not heard any news from either side about the crowdfunding campaigns. One last thing before I talk about the online tournaments and featured matches from this past week. There was a T50 change regarding the new version of the Meeples Champion from the general manager of that division, Candyman. The newest version of the Meeples Champion has the following gimmick. When you hit a card with board or game in the name, you may put one lead or follow-up from your discard pile into play. This gimmick allows the Meeples Champion player to put cards like Legendary Dive, Unreal Teamwork, and Let It Ride Bay into play. Those cards are follow-ups at 19 through 21. They all have the following text. Your opponent cannot double team with or save other players. What this card does is it shuts off double teaming for the opposing tag team. It shuts off saving, so you cannot roll your die to help your partner break out. It doesn't shut off protecting, so one partner can still stop a card played against the other partner, but it shuts off two of the three main mechanics that make tag team matches unique. It's also being put into play. Cards being put into play can't be stopped. Now, cards being put into play don't hit, so effects that trigger when hit don't trigger, but this effect, because it's an ongoing effect, it doesn't need to hit for the effect to work. The only way to get these cards that are being put into play out of play is by using cards that remove cards from in play. Because of the unfriendliness of the combo between the Meeples Champion's gimmick and these cards that shut off one team's ability to double team or save, Candyman has made the following ruling. In tag team matches, this version of the Meeples Champion will have the following text added to their gimmick. Cards named Legendary Dive, Unreal Teamwork, and Let It Ride Bay have blank text. This is the current ruling regarding a new version of Meeples Champion, the one released in the Grand Packs. So be aware of that if you're going to be playing using the Meeples Champion, or if your opponent is using the Meeples Champion. Make sure you're aware of that in those matches, that text has been added. Now let's talk about the online tournaments and featured matches from this past week. I'll start Monday with Monday Night Fights. This was an Underworld Division event, 10 players, group stages, 2 groups, 5 players per group. Each player played the other 4 in the group. Top 2 records per group advanced to the top cut. There was a semifinal round, and then there was a finals match and a third place match. The top 4 end up being in 4th place, playing as the new version of the Rising Sun, Zach Ashley. In 3rd place, playing 64-bit Casey, Yasmin. In 2nd place, playing as Bjorn the Norseman himself, and the winner of Monday Night Fights, playing as a mimic, Commissioner Drew Madsen. Congratulations to the TVA Commissioner for winning Monday Night Fights. Next week's Monday Night Fights will be an Underworld Division event with a special guest referee in the finals match. Brian Schmidt, who runs Monday Night Fights, will consult with the LFF United States General Manager, the Goat Brocksmith, to determine who that special guest referee will be. As a reminder, in a special guest referee match, both players get to use the gimmick of the special guest referee competitor in addition to their own competitor's gimmick. That's the July 7th Monday Night Fights. The July 14th Monday Night Fights will be a trios event. The July 21st Monday Night Fights will be a hardcore division event. There will be no Monday Night Fights July 28th, so be aware of that. That's what we have for Monday Night Fights. Thursday, we had Chibi's Thursday Night Fights. Open division tournament. All competitors legal, subject to 2020 vision. Singles competitors, that is. 6-player round robin tournament. Each player played the other 5. Top 2 records played in a finals match. In that match, we had Ricky Riot as emphasizing versus Zach Ashley as the original version of the Rising Sun, squaring off in a Ring of Fire match. The winner of Chibi's Thursday Night Fights, Zach Ashley. Congratulations to Zach Ashley for winning Chibi's Thursday Night Fights. Honorable mention, 3rd place was Colby Cram playing as Sticky the Salamander Sailboat. As far as future Chibi's Thursday Night Fights, we're getting close to the 200th Chibi's Thursday Night Fights. Chibi will be doing something special for the 200th Chibi's Thursday Night Fights. I will talk about that when that is announced and a reality. There's a little bit of a hiccup with the scheduling because the original date conflicts with Gen Con, so he's going to rework that, and I'll give you the news on that when I have it. Saturday, Big Picture Premium presented on their Twitch channel Hollywood Heat 2, a 4-match pay-per-view match card. The opening match was a match between the winner of the Origins World Championship Tournament, the Lethal Endorser, and the winner of, I believe, the equivalent tournament at Southern Friday Gaming Expo, the Underhoss. In this match, the Underhoss played as the Underhoss. The Lethal Endorser played as Jake Christ. Standard singles match ends up going to crowd meter 1. The winner pretty much dominating, from what I remember seeing, the match, lopsided in the winner's favor, the Underhoss. Congratulations to the Underhoss for winning the opening match of Hollywood Heat 2. The second match was a match between Colby Cram, playing as Colby W. Cram, and the Flame Fighter, playing as the Flame Fighter. This was a good match. It ends up going to crowd meter 2. The winner at crowd meter 2, the Flame Fighter. Congratulations to the Flame Fighter for winning the second match of Hollywood Heat 2. The third match was a match for the AC Online Championship. The challenger, Chibi, playing as Chibi. The champion, El Hombre Cybernetico, champion with El Hombre Cybernetico. I believe he had been champion for, I want to say, 434 days. Something like that. He had been champion for a long time. They squared off standard singles match. It goes to Crowd Meter 3. The winner at Crowd Meter 3, new champion, Chibi. Congratulations to Chibi for becoming the new AC Online champion. The final match, the main event of Hollywood Heat 2, was for the Hollywood Heavyweight Championship. The challenger, current LFF World Heavyweight Champion, the prizefighter, Simon Dabner. The champion, Simple Chuck. The prizefighter was playing as the perfect assistant. The champion with Candyman. They square off. Standard singles match. It goes to Crowd Meter 1. The winner, new champion, the prizefighter, Simon Dabner. Congratulations to the prizefighter for becoming the Hollywood Heavyweight Champion. 2 new champions crowned at Hollywood Heat 2. I also need to make a correction here. Per my notes, and it looks like I missed this earlier, per my notes, the next defense of the LFF World Heavyweight Championship against challenger Loudmouth Leo Larynx will be on Sunday Night Fights. It will not happen at Gen Con. It will be later this month on Sunday Night Fights. I apologize. I just overlooked that in my notes. But that match will be happening end of July, streamed on twitch.tv/SRGuniverse. Sunday, we have Sunday Night Fights. 4 matches on the match card for Sunday Night Fights. The opening match for the LFF Global Championship. The challenger, Mothman, playing as Jessica Havoc. The champion, General Lee Wong, playing as Kenzie Page. This was a long, hard-fought match. In the beginning, it looked like it was going to be a dominant performance from the champion. The champion, very early in the match, using his gimmick and burial cards, took all of the cards out of Mothman's hand, but Mothman able to fight back. The match ends up going about 45 minutes. It goes all the way to Crowd Meter 2. The winner, still champion, General Lee Wong. Great match. General Lee Wong able to hang on, continue having a dominant performance as champion. His next challenger, from what I understand, is going to be the big guy, and the match will be a no disqualification match. General Lee Wong has been using chair shot to great success in a number of his matches. With the next match being a no disqualification match, chair shot will be neutered a bit. The second match of the night is a match in the Underworld Contender Tournament I talked about earlier. Now, when I mentioned it earlier, I mentioned that the deadline had passed. Apparently not all of the matches had been played before the deadline. 2 of those matches that still needed to be played were played on Sunday Night Fights. The first was a match between General Lee Wong as General Lee Wong and the SRG boss as Sergeant Yoga. This was a very quick match, the quickest match of the night. It did not go past Crowd Meter 0. The winner, moving on in the tournament, the SRG boss. Congratulations for advancing in the Underworld Contender Tournament. The third match of the night, the other Underworld Contender Tournament match. In this match, we had Jokerfish playing as Shane Hurricane Helms, and the GOAT Brock Smith playing as the new version of the GOAT Brock Smith. This was a much longer match, hard fought, goes to Crowd Meter 2. The winner advancing in the tournament, the GOAT Brock Smith. Congratulations to the GOAT for moving on in the tournament. The final match of the night was for the LFF Tornado Tag Team Championship. The challenger, Nick Nemesis, playing as Kitty Corn. Nick Nemesis won this shot last week at an ACCW event. He's taking on Bob Dunn champion with the corner office. This was another hard-fought match. It goes to Crowd Meter 1. The winner at Crowd Meter 1, new champion, Nick Nemesis. Congratulations to Nick Nemesis for becoming the LFF Tornado Tag Team Champion. Now, I do have a criticism about this match. And not that Nick Nemesis is getting a shot. He earned his shot. He deserved the match. My criticism is toward Hold the Line Harry, someone I respect greatly. In my opinion, there is no reason to have this match at this time. Why? Because with Nick Nemesis winning this match, the LFF Tornado Tag Team Championship, to my knowledge, will not be at Gen Con. Now, huge caveat to what I'm about to say. If Nick Nemesis is going to Gen Con and he's going to be defending the LFF Tornado Tag Team Championship at Gen Con, everything I'm about to say is moot. But to my knowledge, Nick Nemesis isn't going to be at Gen Con. In my opinion, people responsible for booking championships should do their best in the booking to make sure that championships are defended at the major conventions. Grand Gathering, Gen Con, Origins, Southern Friday Gaming Expo, PAX Unplugged, Dragon Con. Those are the places where the championships, if possible, should be defended. We know Bob Dunn is going to be at Gen Con. Bob Dunn just defended the LFF Tornado Tag Team Championship twice 2 weeks ago. Nick Nemesis just won his shot at the championship a week ago. Why did we have to rush to have a championship match? Why did we have to book a match now that would take one of the major 5 championships in Supershow the Game off of the biggest convention stage that Supershow appears at? I'm not counting Grand Gathering when I count that. Grand Gathering is certainly bigger. But outside of Grand Gathering, Gen Con's the biggest stage. General managers should be booking championships during convention season to have as many marquee matches as possible at the conventions. We know the World Heavyweight Championship is not going to be at Gen Con. It wasn't at Origins. I don't know if the Underworld is going to be at Gen Con. I don't know if the tag team is going to be at Gen Con. That's 3 of the big 5 that aren't going to be at Gen Con. Bob Dunn could have come to Gen Con and defended at Gen Con. I would not also be shocked if Bob Dunn is going to Dragon Con. So you could have booked Bob Dunn to defend at Gen Con, and if he happened to retain, you could have had Bob Dunn versus Nick Nemesis at Dragon Con, live, in person. Nick Nemesis being from the Atlanta area, being a local player. To me, that's how I would have booked it. I'm not happy with this booking. Now, congratulations to Nick Nemesis. I'm not taking away your win. You deserved the shot. You deserved the win. I'm not taking away the booking of the match. I'm only really complaining about the timing. To me, the timing was wrong. It was the wrong timing to have this match. I also don't know why we couldn't have had a build. Maybe seen some promos get cut back and forth. Again, it's been a week from the time Nick Nemesis won his shot to having the championship match. To me, that was too fast to turn around. I wanted to get that off my chest because I did not like that aspect of this match. Outside of that, though, great match. Congratulations to Nick Nemesis for the win. Bob Dunn, you had a great run as LFF Tornado Tag Team Champion, defending twice at 2 different conventions, 2 different states, same weekend. May never be done again. That was Sunday Night Fights. For next week, I mentioned that Monday's Monday Night Fights will be a United States Division event. Piglet and 64-Bit Casey are booked. The winner may get a shot at the championship. There will be championship implications potentially for the winner of the next Monday night fights. We should have Dojo Tuesday night, twitch.tv/srguniverse. Wednesday, stacked card on Big Picture Premium with special guest Yasmin. Talk of the Universe on the SRG Universe Twitch channel. Expanding the Universe Thursday, same Twitch channel. And we should have Chibi's Thursday night fights. That's what's coming up for next week as far as events and shows. With that being said, that is going to do it for this week's episode of the Outlaw Mudcast. I would like to thank all of you for listening, and good day.